Duggee and the Wonderful Party. It was a bright and beautiful morning. The sun was shining, the sky was blue, and tiny fluffy clouds floated gently above the trees. Duggee was getting ready for a very special party. He carried colorful balloons into his house. One balloon was yellow, one was blue, one was green, one was pink, and one was orange. Duggee carefully tied all the balloons together and placed them near the party table. Then, he decorated the room with colorful ribbons, stars, flags, and shiny streamers. Everything looked bright and cheerful. In the middle of the room was a big table covered with delicious party food. There were cupcakes, sandwiches, fruit, biscuits, popcorn, and a huge birthday cake. Duggee stepped back and looked at everything. He was very pleased. Suddenly, Nori, Rolly, Tag, and Happy arrived. They rushed toward the party decorations with huge smiles on their faces. Nori happily looked at the colorful balloons. Rolly immediately ran around the room. Tag carefully examined all the decorations. Happy bounced excitedly from one side of the room to the other. Duggee welcomed everyone with a big smile. The party was ready to begin. The balloon game. Duggee gathered everyone together. He gave each friend a balloon. Nori held a pink balloon. Rolly held a green balloon. Tag held a blue balloon. Happy held a yellow balloon. Duggee held an orange balloon. They all stood in a circle. Duggee gently tossed his balloon into the air. Everyone followed. Soon 5 balloons were flying up and down. Nori carefully tapped her balloon. Rolly jumped very high to reach his. Tag moved quickly from side to side. Happy spun around while trying to keep the balloon in the air. Duggee bounced his balloon with his paw. The balloons floated everywhere. One balloon landed on Nori's head. Another bounced off Tag. A third balloon landed on Rolly's back. Happy disappeared underneath a pile of balloons. Everyone laughed. Duggee helped Happy out of the balloon pile. Then the game continued. The balloons flew higher and higher. Everyone jumped, bounced, spun, and danced. Suddenly, one balloon floated toward the ceiling. Everyone watched it. It slowly came down. Duggee caught it. Everyone celebrated. The silly dance. Next, Duggee started the party music. Everyone began dancing. Nori danced in little circles. Rolly jumped up and down. Tag wiggled from side to side. Happy spun around and around. Duggee performed a funny dance with his paws. The others copied him. They danced slowly. Then they danced quickly. Then they danced very quickly. Rolly jumped so much that his party hat flew into the air. Nori caught it. Tag spun around and nearly bumped into a balloon. Happy danced underneath a streamer. Duggee clapped along with the music. Everyone continued dancing until they were completely tired. They all sat down together, but Rolly was still bouncing. His energy seemed endless. Duggee smiled and gently patted Rolly on the head. The mysterious party box. After the dancing, Duggee brought out a large, mysterious box. It was covered with colorful wrapping paper. Nori, Rolly, Tag, and Happy gathered around it. Everyone looked curious. Duggee slowly opened the box. Inside were lots of colorful party props. There were funny glasses, silly hats, paper crowns, big bow ties, and colorful masks. Everyone chose something. Nori wore funny, star-shaped glasses. Rolly put on a huge hat. Tag wore a colorful bow tie. Happy placed a funny mask over his face. Duggee wore a silly crown. Everyone looked at one another. They all looked extremely funny. They began marching around the room like a tiny party parade. Duggee marched at the front. Nori followed. Rolly bounced behind her. Tag marched carefully. Happy danced at the back. The parade went around the table. Then around the balloons. Then around the chairs. Finally, everyone returned to the middle of the room. The party treasure hunt. Duggee prepared another exciting activity. A treasure hunt. He placed colorful clues around the party room. Everyone searched together. The first clue was hidden underneath a cushion. Nori found it. The second clue was behind a balloon. Rolly discovered it. The third clue was underneath the party table. Tag found it. The fourth clue was behind a large decoration. Happy spotted it. Everyone followed the clues. They looked underneath chairs. They searched behind curtains. They looked beside the balloons. They checked around the party table. Finally, they found a large, colorful treasure box. Duggee opened it. Inside were shiny party badges for everyone. Nori received one. Rolly received one. Tag received one. Happy received one. Duggee received one too. Everyone proudly wore their new badges.
Title: The Great Squirrel Treasure Hunt. Opening at the clubhouse. The sun shines through the windows of the big yellow clubhouse. Inside, Duggee stretches big and yawns. The 5 squirrels arrive one by one, waving and bouncing with energy. Duggee walks to the shelf and pulls down 5 shiny treasure hunter badges. One by one, the badges are gently placed on each squirrel. Betty straightens hers proudly. Rolly wiggles with excitement. Tag bounces in place. Nori adjusts her glasses. Happy spins in a happy circle. Duggee then unrolls a big, crinkly, old-looking map onto the table. All 5 squirrels lean in close, eyes wide with curiosity. The map and first clue. The map shows the park with little doodles and arrows. Duggee points to the first mark on the map with a paw. It's near a big, splashy circle. Understanding dawns on the squirrels. They nod together and march out of the clubhouse in a line. Clue 1, the fountain. The group arrives at the park fountain. Water sparkles in the sun. Children are playing nearby. One squirrel can't resist and dips a toe in, then jumps in fully, sending water everywhere. The others laugh and take off their shoes too. They search carefully around the edge of the fountain. One squirrel dives under for a second and comes back up holding a soggy green leaf. Duggee takes the leaf and gently dries it. Faint writing appears on it. Duggee points to the next picture on the map, something that goes up and down. The squirrels' eyes light up. They put their shoes back on and hurry off to the next spot, leaving little wet footprints behind. Clue 2, the trampolines. Next is the playground with big round trampolines. Immediately, all 5 squirrels are bouncing, high, low, spinning, wobbling. One squirrel bounces carefully while holding the map, scanning the area. On one big bounce, a small envelope flies out from between the springs and floats into the air. Another squirrel leaps and catches it mid-bounce. They all gather around as Duggee carefully opens the envelope. Inside is another clue with a drawing of tall trees and musical notes. The bouncing slows down. The squirrels take one last big jump together, then head off, following the path toward the woods. Clue 3, the whispering woods. The park becomes quieter. Tall trees sway above. Sunlight makes patterns on the ground. The squirrels walk softly, listening. The wind makes a gentle whooshing sound through the leaves. One squirrel stops and sniffs the air. There's a sweet berry smell. Following the scent, they push through some bushes. Behind them, they find a pile of ripe berries, and tucked underneath, a pine cone tied with a bright ribbon. Duggee picks up the pine cone. Attached is the final clue. It shows a picture of the clubhouse and a cozy rug. The mission is clear. It's time to go home. The squirrels hold paws and trot back together, excited. The treasure reveal. Back at the clubhouse, the search begins. Cushions are lifted, books are checked, the toy box is peeked into. Nothing. Then one squirrel looks up. Hanging from the ceiling is a large, colorful box shaped like a treasure chest covered in streamers. The squirrels look at each other, then at Duggee. Working together, they build a wobbly tower. One stands on another's shoulders. Another holds the bottom steady. The smallest climbs to the top and gives the treasure chest a gentle tap. Pop! Streamers, stickers, tiny bags of treats, and mini badges rain down like confetti. The clubhouse fills with cheers and happy jumps. The squirrels collect the treats and share them equally. Duggee walks around and places a final special sticker on each squirrel's badge. Proud, accomplished, full of snacks. Cozy ending. All 6 of them curl up together on the big rug in the clubhouse. The treasure is spread out around them. Duggee pulls a blanket over everyone. Outside, the sun starts to set. One by one, the squirrels yawn and snuggle closer. The camera slowly pulls back, showing the cozy, quiet clubhouse.